Hey guys, Luis Fausto here, back with another tutorial. Today's goal is to design a funding pop-up card to allow the user to fund a creator on learn.com. So it's going to look something like this. Let's jump right into it and let's start to learning. Alright guys, so I got our frame set up. This is our creator profile, right? So we're going to be focusing on this action right here on the fund me, right? This is where the pop-up is going to get triggered. So let's go ahead and create our pop-up. So first, we want to have the creator's face and name. So we're going to go ahead and create a circle right here, circle. And let's do this 40. And we want to create a place for her name. So Deli Browner. Make sure this is center aligned. And we want this to be at 16 pixels with a 24 height. Deli Browner is a name, right? So we want to use that image, right? And we want to auto layout these. Actually, first of all, let's go in here and let's see. Go in here, double click, and go over here to image and click copy. And then come over here to the circle. And instead of fill, your fill actually shouldn't be a solid, it should be an image, and simply push paste. There we go. It's looking a little small right now, but it's going to look better with the card. We still want to have that purple ring around it, right? So I'm going to create a stroke with a 3 pixel stroke, and then we're going to go with the purple. Cool. And then actually we're going to go a little bit bigger. Let's go 48. There we go. Then we want to auto layout this so the name in the image are always the same pixels apart. So we're going to hover over both of them. We're going to hit Shift A for auto layout. Right now they're aligned to the top left. We want them aligned to the center and hugging the top. Okay, that's first step. And then we want these to be, let's try 16. Okay, that's cool. Let's see what the 8 looks like. I like the 8. It's closer. It's nice. There's space, but it's closer. All right. First things first, we design the user profile, image, and the name. Next thing we need to do is some easy stuff. Maybe our branding, our company name. So learn.com, we could leave that at 16 and 24. And then we want to create a one-liner. So this one-liner is going to showcase the reason why you're going to fund this creator. So it'll make more sense right now. Let's create some copy. So it's going to be first person. It's going to be help fund me so I can continue creating content about data analysis and data analytics. Then maybe put a little happy face emoji. Go here and then we'll do that one. Yeah, we'll do that one. Cool. And this one, we're going to go a little smaller on the text. We're going to go, let's do a 14. Spacing is going to be 16. All right. We'll do 24 still. Okay, cool. Now the question is, do we want all these to be spaced the same length apart, or do we want something to, maybe these two to be closer? I think we're going to do these two closer, and then we'll do both of these sections a certain width apart. So I'm going to hover over this frame that we created, and then the text, and I'm put Shift A. Sorry, I feel like sneezing, but it didn't come out. Same thing, so it got aligned to the top left. Let's do it center and then to the top. And then let's do this. Let's try 32. Yeah, that's some good spacing, huh? I like it. Okay, cool. And then now we could put our branding and this area together. So then hover over everything. Shift A, auto layout. Again, by default, it's going to be at the top left. And then we want it to be at the center and top. And this one, 80 is good. I like the spacing. So just so you guys know, everything here, this container and then this text is 80. But this container itself, the items and elements are 32 pixels apart. So there we go. Now, let's add a fill. And look what happens. Oh, wow, we got ourselves a card. Well, not yet. It looks kind of weird because everything's hugging around the text. We want to add some padding. So then we go over here to these two little boxes, padding around items. Let's do a 24. There we go. Now we got a card. Now, there's something going on here. So there we go. I like it so far. Everything's cool. And just for habit purposes, I would encourage you to learn this too for habit purposes. Is now that you have all your frames, go in here and instead of hug contents, so left and right here, this is top and bottom. Right now we're going to focus on left and right. Instead of hug contents, let's do fill container. What this does is it triggers this. Nothing was going to happen. It shouldn't happen. So if I ever want to change the size of this, see how nothing gets adjusted correctly. So first we do the mainframe fill container, but then we have to go into the nitty gritty stuff and do everything the same. Fill container, and let's do this one too, fill container. So now when I do squeeze it out, look what happens. Wow, it gets adjusted properly. So just for habit purposes, maybe you want it this way. We're not going to do it that way. We're going to keep it wide, but just for habits. I'm going to do it like this too. I'm going to do it a little longer. Okay. All right, cool. We got the left side. It's going to be a two-part one, so there's going to be the left side. And then we want to create the inputs. So the inputs are going to be the amount they want to fund. So amount, line this to the left. So that's 1. Keep that 16 pixels. Another thing we want them to do is if they want to leave a personal message. And then one where they don't have to input, we're going to do what's called the funder's name. This is essentially the user who's funding it. And then we also want to create a button. So copy again. And the button's going to say invest. So we're going to stick with the funding terminology. So invest, let's suppose $3. So $3 into Jelly. That's going to be the button call to action. This one, you want to center it. Now let's stick to the button first. Let's create the button. So right now we've been kind of just grouping things together and auto laying out the different elements together. But just so you guys know, you could auto layout text. So in this case, the way I want to create a button, just hover over this text and hit Shift A. Nothing happens at first, but then go ahead and do fill. See how it fills by automatically. It'll give you eight pixels of padding, which is good. I like 8 pixels of padding. The only thing I'm going to change is coming in here and centering it to the center. So that way the text, see the text, no matter how big the button gets, the text gets centered. Okay. And I want to add, so I'm going to go back. I'm going to add 16 pixels. 16 pixels. And this one, I like to round my buttons all the way. So just pick a big number, 80. It's going to round it for you. Cool. In this case, I'm going to keep the button white. I'm going to change the text to purple. And let's name it. So this is our button. Cool. This is our left side. Let's just call it left side. Cool, guys. We're moving along. Okay. Now let's focus on the amount. We want them to, let's suppose the $3, right? Let's do $3. And then we're going to do this. We're going to change this from extra bold to light. And then we're going to tone it down to 14 pixels with 16 pixels height. Okay. And I'm going to look through my icons. So I find icons, I'm using new icons from the Figma community. You could go ahead and find them. You can find other beautiful icon packs as well. But I like using these ones. So I'm going to look for money, a money symbol, like this one. Cool. It's a little big, so I'm going to resize it. Make sure you hit these right here. So that way, no matter what, it does it proportionally. So I like the 16 by 16. And then I'm going to auto lay out the money sign with the text, the amount. So Shift A. Cool. And then you want it to center it this way. And then I want these to be 16 pixels apart. Cool. Now, I want this to be an input field. So usually input fields have a border. So I'm going to create a stroke. You're going to notice, like, what the heck? This input field looks weird. That's because there's no padding. So let's add that padding. Let's do an 8 pixel padding again, just like our button. Perfect. I like it. And then for this one, again, let's do it with the 16. and 60. Add some roundness in there. I like to do 8 on inputs. There we go. The input's kind of small. So if we look closely here, we aligned it to the center, but to the left. So the cool thing is if we make this input field bigger, everything, all the content stays stuck to the left, which is beautiful. So that's perfect. Okay. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right. So now we could do the personal message. And just a little quick hack. We don't need to keep creating these as we go. We could just copy this one and just change the contents in the inside. So bring this frame over here, and then copy and paste, and bring it over here. The reason why is because we already have everything laid out with our auto layout. We could just replace content. So for example, with the personal message, we just take off this, the icon, we're just left with the text, and we could put your message here. Sorry, I'll get some water. Throat decided to be dry. All right, so see, now we have our input for our text, and then we could do this. But you see this right here? Look, I try to make it higher, but you're like maybe thinking, why is the text centered to the middle? That's because if we look over here, it's centered to the left and to the center. Simple fix, just do it to the top left, and it pushes up there. Cool, now it looks like a text input box. This looks like an input for money. This looks like an input for just a message. Perfect. And for the founder's name, instead of the money sign, we're gonna put the funder's name. Sorry, not the founder. I'm stuck because I'm a founder, but funder's name. Her name is Lisa Guyen. Cool. And then we're just gonna copy this circle right here. This is her. So copy, paste, bring it over here. So check this out. This is what I mean by just replacing content. See the money sign here? We're gonna have to make this circle smaller. It's at 40 by 40 right now. Let's do it 24 by 24. We might have to go smaller, 16 by 16. We simply just drag it in here. You see that blue line? Boom. That means the auto layout feature is working properly, and it just puts another element in there, and it's 16 since we already set that up. But since we only want the profile image and the name, we just simply go over the money sign and delete it, and now we have the funder's name nice and aligned there. Okay, couple more touches and we're almost done, guys. So far we've doing a great job. Okay. Now the one thing we want to add is just in case the user wants to be anonymous, we want to make that available. So we're gonna add another. We're gonna do a little rectangle box here. Do a little. What is this? 12 by 12. We'll add maybe like a 2 roundness. Okay. And then we're gonna do a stroke of 1 is fine on the inside, and then we're gonna eliminate the fill. Okay, so this is just a little checkbox, and what we want in here, the text to say is, I don't know, anonymous for now. It's subject to change, but anonymous. I'm gonna do this at 12. Now we're gonna do a small. 10, yeah, 10. 10 by 12. And this is a checkbox. I'm going to hover over the checkbox and anonymous and auto layout, center it to the left, and we want this to be 8 pixels apart. So there we go, anonymous. And we're going to do the same thing for the funder. Maybe the funder doesn't want to showcase their name at the public facing as a public facing message, or that it was them. Maybe they could do a public message but anonymous user, or they could be both anonymous or anonymous message, and then the educator knows who did it. But yeah, we just want those to be available. Okay, cool. Now let's combine these two. So this frame with anonymous, auto layout, top left. We want these to be 8 pixels apart. Same thing with these two. Hover over those, auto layout. I keep wanting to sneeze, but I can't. Excuse me. I might edit that out. I apologize. But let's keep it moving. We're doing good. So we just auto layout these. I want them to be 8 pixels apart. Boom. Cool. All right, cool. Now we could auto layout the amount with the amount input. We want this to be top left. Perfect. We want this to be 8 pixels close. Same thing with personal message. Auto layout, top left. And then we want this to be 8 pixels close. Perfect. Funder's name with this. Auto layout, top left, 8 pixels. Awesome. Now we got all our, so this is our funder's name. Funder's name. It's his personal message. Sorry. Personal message. And the amount. Perfect. And this is our button. Now we could create a card with all of these. So hover this. Shift A. We want the elements to be 32 pixels apart. And we're going to have this centered. Nothing's going to happen yet, but it'll make sense. Because a button, we want the button to be centered. So center to the top, boom, the button moves. Some things move here too. But it's okay. We're going to fix that right now. So just how we did over here by habit, as I mentioned earlier, is to do the fill container. So let's do the fill container on the button first. Boom, fill container. It's going to stretch all the way. Awesome. Same thing with this. Fill container. Then go into the nitty gritty stuff. Fill container. And then fill container. Yeah, just keep doing fill container. Hug contents, fill container. Left and right. Remember that, left and right. Nitty gritty stuff, fill container. Some things get pushed automatically. We'll fix that. Fill container. Go into all your elements. Fill container. Double click the input. Fill container. Cool. Now when we stretch it, look what happens. Wow, this looks awesome. We have control. All right. Now we're going to put a fill again. It's going to be white. You won't see the button. We're going to change the background to purple. You're like, oh no, what is going on? So many things are wrong here. Black does not look good with the purple. The white button, the box is like encapsulating the text, super weird. So first things first. Same thing over here. We did a 24 padding, pixel padding. Same thing over here. Excuse me. There's 0 padding. Let's do 24. Boom. Already looking better. Now we want to change the black text to white. Instead of doing one by one and doing the different selection colors, you could just hit the frame, go down to selection colors, and turn this black into white, and it turns everything into this frame white. So just a little hack, okay? So there we have it, guys. Look, it's coming along really cool. The only thing now is connecting these two, and I think we got ourselves a nice little card, okay? Cool. So now let's put it together. Auto layout the left side and the right side. Nothing happens at first. We want this to be, this is perfectly fine how it is right now. And since these are already 24 pixels padding the way we designed them, when you auto layout both of them, you could just put a 0 spacing and it just combines them together. We're done. Just kidding. You're like, Luis, what the heck is going on here? So we've been working a lot with left to right fill containers. On this one, so this side could fill into the rest of the container, as we can see here with the dotted line. We're going to do the top to bottom. So right now it's fixed height. Look what happens when you hit fill container. Voila. It fills it in. This is looking really, really nice, guys. I'm liking it a lot. And I think this is it. So just to break it down real quick. Actually, before we do that, we're just going to add some roundness to it. We're going to add a 16 to the whole frame, okay? So this is our card. Our ultimate pop-up. Card pop-up, okay? Hover over that or click it. We're going to do a 16 pixel. And you're like, wait a second, Luis. They're not rounded at all. There's a little mistake I used to run into all the time. And we're gonna do right here. This is called clip content. Don't forget to do this. Boom. And something I picked up here, actually, we're gonna change. Sorry guys. I'm gonna go in here and just change the background color on this input. Right now there's no fill. I'm gonna do a fill of white and let's do 40%. The reason why, we could change this, but the reason why, actually, I don't know if I like it right now like that. So 20%, 25. Okay, the reason why is because since they're not inputting anything, they don't have the ability, because this is just taking their name from their account. we want to showcase that they can't edit this. This is just a filler, and we just want to showcase that. Look, this is a nice way to show that you are connected to Delhi and the transactions happening here. So we just want to make sure that the state is something indicates that. So we're gonna go with like a lighter purple fill. Could do it. It could be anything. All right, now we could break it down, guys. So our left side, we're focused on the creator, and just to even focus more, we could even do Delhi Broner. Let's do her at 24. 32. Perfect. So learn.com, our branding, we're focusing on Delhi Broner. And the reason why I want to fund her is because she says, I want to fund her because help fund me so I can continue creating content about data analysis and data analytics. I like her content. I want to fund her. I'm going to send her $3 on the right side of our amount. I'm going to send her $3. I haven't chosen to write a personal message yet, but I have the ability to. I also have the ability to be anonymous. And then my account, in this case, I'm Lisa, funder. I'm the funder because I'm funding her. And I haven't chosen to be anonymous yet. And then our call to action is that I'm going to invest $3 into Delhi. So there you guys have it, guys. And to put the cherry on top, let's see it in action. So we're going to create a quick prototype. Go ahead and click over here, your design, go to prototype. And since we're going to be focusing on fund me, we're going to double click until we get there. Okay, fund me. Excuse me. Okay, cool. So then we connect the node. So it's going to be on click. And then instead of navigate to, we're going to do open overlay. It's an overlay. It's a pop-up, right? So this is essentially what it's going to do. We want it to come to the center. Close when clicking outside. Yes. To showcase that you can exit. And then add background behind overlay. Yes. We want it to be black. And we're going to do a 40. It's going to be transparent. So that way we can still see. That way we can still see the background. And the animation, I don't want it to be instant. I want it to move in. I want it to look really nice. So I want it to move in from the right side at 400 milliseconds. And right now it's at easy out. I want it easy out and back. You're going to look how nice and bouncy and friendly this is. So one more breakdown on the interaction details. It's going to be on click. So when I click fund me, this is going to come up. It's going to open overlay. Okay, we're opening an overlay. I want it to be centered. When clicking outside, I want it to close, and then adding background with overlay, add background behind overlay, sorry, with the 40% black color. Animation, I want it to come in from the right side. I want it to move in, okay? I don't want it to be instant. I want it to move in from the right side. I want it to have a nice little jumpy feel, easy in and out back, and at 400 milliseconds. So let's take a see how that looks like. It's loading. Perfect. So this is our profile. And if I click fund me, look at that. Perfect. I like it. So if I click outside, perfect. You see that jumpiness? Fund me again. Man, I could do this all day if I want to. Cool. And I could just simply input it in here, do my thing. Look at that. Look how jumpy that is. But yeah, there you guys have it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that tutorial. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Please leave any comments in there on any other tutorials you'd like me to do. Again, this is for learn.com. I'm a co-founder of learn.com. If you haven't checked it out, go ahead and check it out. A lot of free educational video content on there. We have a big project that we can't wait to release. So yeah, go ahead and check it out. Have fun in there, and we'll see you next time.